Hey guys, happy Thursday. It is early, 7:47 a.m. Eastern time. I know these times are all over the place. I try to at least stick to Thursday mornings, so hopefully some of you can hop on live. If not, and you're watching the replay and you have questions or you have comments, please post them. I always come back and look. So today, I want to talk about something that's kind of front of mind for my studio, my instructors right now, and that is transitions, because we always talk about this, but it's different this time. So I talk about transitions in between songs, in between drills, as being super important, right? Because you have to create that flow in your class. The goal is that you don't want people to know how many songs were in the class or how long, what minute they're at, looking down at their watches. You don't want any of that. You want so much flow and momentum in what you're doing that they're not thinking about it. They're not thinking about, oh, that's one song down, X amount to go, or whatever. None of that. So we've talked about transitions in the past in terms of, the logistics. So crossfading, of course, essential. Talking them through it, holding certain positions and setting them up for the next song before you even get there. That's important. Knowing your playlist, knowing what's next, knowing your drills, knowing what's next, all that stuff. But this is a little bit more, once you nail all that stuff, I want you to think about what you would need as a rider to keep you in that moment. So if you just did something really hard, let's say you did rolling hills and they're sprinting down the backside of the hill, and then you're getting to the end of the song and they're gassed, they're tired. They're going to want so badly to push away from the handlebars and take a break. So something that we've also talked about before in those transitions is keeping them down in it, right? Telling them always keep at least one hand on the handlebars. You can grab water, you can grab a towel, but I want you to stay connected. So doing whatever you can to keep that momentum and keep that flow. So a lot of it is going to be in what you say and what you do. If you sit up from the handlebars, they're going to, right? And then they're going to be out of it. They're going to lose all their momentum, and you're going to lose them. They're going to have a really hard time getting back into whatever you're going to do next. So the key for you is to know your playlist and your routine, your drills, whatever you want to call it, so well that you know exactly what's coming next and you can set them up for it ahead of time. So if I'm going, for example, from rolling hills and they just finished sprinting down the back hill, and then we're going to do some jumps. So we're already in the saddle, right? We're kind of maybe loosening up the gear a little bit, getting them back to a sort of a flat road, giving them a tiny little active recovery, but keeping the speed, and then setting them up for the first round of jumps. So maybe resetting their form, right? Because they tend to lose form when they get tired. So things like that I'm going to be cueing as the transition of the song crossfades in and out, as they start to realize that we're moving into the next drill. But maybe if you're good, you can get them not even to think about the fact that this is a new song, a new drill. This is just the next thing on their road, right? The momentum and the flow keeps going. So there's a lot to think about. I think the key is we often think about one song to the next or one drill to the next, and very rarely do we think about that in-between part, which is so crucial because that's how we create the flow. So take a step back, look at your last class or your upcoming class, and look at in between what you're gonna, so look at your drills and figure out how you can transition from one to the next with them, with cueing them, what you're gonna say, what you're gonna do, how you're going to position yourself on the bike, and think about keeping as much flow as possible by holding them in the ride with you. So like I said, if you have like a very hilly ride coming up and they're going to get active recoveries in there, but you want those active recoveries to keep them engaged. So how are you going to do that? What are you going to say? When are you going to say them, right? When is the silence going to happen? When are you going to hold them in? And how are you going to keep them from sitting up and getting out of the ride? So it's a lot to think about, but if you go back and you look at your planned profile and you actually look at, okay, in between here and here, what am I going to do to keep them hooked? And you plan it ahead of time, it will make the biggest difference in your class, and you'll see it. You'll see it with them. Instead of them sitting up, taking long breaks that they might not even need just because of that break in between songs, they'll stay in it with you, they'll keep working, and they'll only take the breaks or the recoveries as you give them, right? Which at the beginning of every class, I always say, you guys take breaks as you need them, right? Because that's what we want, only as they need them though. We don't want to be giving them breaks that they don't need just because we don't have something planned, right? So think about what you want in between songs and how you want to, in between drills even, it might not even be in between songs, and how you're going to keep them hooked and what you're going to say to do that. So what I often do, just as an example, is repositioning of some sort. So let's say we're going from something on a flat road. Good morning, Kim. Something on a flat road in the saddle, and the next drill is going to be a hill out of the saddle. So before that song ends, before that flat road ends, whatever we were doing on it, I have them turn up the gear a little bit and lift it out. So by the time that transition happens, they're already set up for the next song, and they're not going to take a break because they're ready to go. So things like that, thinking ahead before the song ends, before the drill ends, and what you're going to do to keep them in, because they know when the end is coming, right? They hear it. It's the end of the song. It's the end of the drill, and they're going to take a break as soon as they're done unless you set them up ahead of time. So just some food for thought today. I know it's something a little bit extra that we can layer into our classes, especially my more advanced instructors, but I do think it is something that will totally elevate your classes, and it will become something that creates a flow and a momentum to your ride that makes it so much better for your riders and for you, because it will fly by and it will just be smooth. You know, you'll notice it. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes. And I'm excited to hear if you guys do this already or if you're going to give it a shot. All right. I am off to enjoy my Thursday. Lots of classes today. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye, guys.